For problem set lesson 6, it says find the total volume of the figures and record your solution strategy. Now on this first one, I'm thinking I can just write multiplication sentences for the volume, because 5 centimeters plus 5 centimeters is 10 centimeters. So that means I would do 3 centimeters times 14 centimeters times 10 centimeters equals, so 3 times 14 is 42, add a 0 to the end, 420 centimeters cubed. Now the rest are going to be a little different because we can't just add up one side. They're not stacked on top of each other. So let's take a look at B. B's a little different. For B, I'm going to have the volume of A. I'm going to put it down here. The volume of A, and then I'm going to have the volume of B. So let's call these A and B. So I've got 7 times 3, and how do I figure out this amount right here? Oh, I'm sorry, it's not there, it's the width. So 7 times 3 times the width, and the width is 4. So the volume of A is 7 inches times 3 inches times 4 inches, and that equals, you can do 21 times 4, which is 84 cubic inches. So that's the volume of A. And the volume of B, I can do 15 inches times 4 inches times 6 inches. And that gives me 15 times 4 is 60. So 60 times 6, 360 cubic inches. Now to figure out the volume of the composite figure, I add the volume of A plus the volume of B. So I've got 84 cubic inches plus 360 cubic inches equals 444 cubic inches. So that's how we're going to do them. You don't have to explain your solution strategy. That's just going to be the area where we write the volume of each figure. So let's call this A. Let's call this B. A, B. All right, so let's do volume of A, volume of B. So A is going to be 4 centimeters times, here's the width, 3 centimeters. And then how far across right here? How can we figure that out? So I hope you're thinking, take 10 minus 6, and that will give me 4. So it's going to be 4 centimeters times 3 centimeters times 4 centimeters equals, so I guess I could do 12 times 4, 48 cubic centimeters. Okay, volume of B. So B is just right here. We've got 10 times 3 times 2, which equals 30 times 2, 60 centimeters cubed. So to figure out the volume of both rectangular prisms, I will add 48 cubic centimeters plus 60 cubic centimeters equals 108 cubic centimeters. Okay, now for D. So for figure A, we've got to figure out this right here. To do that, I think I can use the 12. See, this 12 is here to trick you. It doesn't do anything for you because they're not stacked on top of each other. They're completely different lengths. So I think I can use the 12 to help me figure out this missing part because I can do 12 minus 6. So that's going to give me 6 here. So let's start with the volume of A. We have the width, the length, and the height. So the length is 8 meters times the width is the same as the one on the bottom, 3 meters times 6 meters. So 8 times 3 times 6. So you could do 18 times 8. You could do 24 times 6. Or you could do 48 times 3. The answer is 144 meters cubed. Okay, volume of B. So we have 10 by 3 by 6. That one's pretty simple. To figure out the volume of A and B, we will add 144 cubic meters plus 180 cubic meters, whoops, equals 324 cubic meters. Okay, let's take a look at number 2 on the back. This one's kind of complicated. A sculpture pictured below is made of 2 sizes of rectangular prisms. One size measures 13 by 8 inches by 2 inches, and the other size measures 9 inches by 8 inches by 18 inches. So I'm thinking this first one is going to be A. And it's here in the middle also. And the second one is B. So let's figure out the volume of A. So it's going to be 13 inches times 8 inches times 2 inches. So let's take a look at that. We could do 8 times 2, but then we'd have to do 16 times 13. I don't want to do that. So how about if we did 13 times 8, and then take that times 2. So 13 times 8, we could use 12 times 8, which is 96, and add 8. We've done that several times. So that's 104 times 2. 104 times 2 should be 208 inches cubed. Okay, volume of B. So that is 9 times 8 times 18. Okay, what would be the easiest way to do this? You could do 72 times 18, or you could do 8 times 18 and then take it times 9. Let's practice some turtle head multiplication. So I want to do 72 times 18 turtle head. So 2 times 8, 7 times 8, X's and O's, add it up, (1,296) cubic inches. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and erase this because now we have to figure out, that's just the two rectangular prisms, A and B. Now we have to figure out the total volume of the entire structure. Okay, so how many rectangular prisms do we have labeled A? Okay, so we have 6, so we will take 208 inches cubed times 6 to figure out the total area of rectangular prism A. So we have 6 times 8, 48, 2 times 6. So A is 1,248 inches cubed. And B, we just have 2B, so take it times 2. (2,592 inches cubed). And to get the entire sculpture, we have to add those two together. So we'll add 1,248, 2,592. So the entire sculpture is 3,840 cubic inches. Okay, so I have number 3 says the combined volume of 2 identical cubes is 128 cubic centimeters. What is the side length of each cube? So the combined length, I'm going to use a tape diagram to solve this. The combined length is 128 cubic centimeters. The side length of each cube will be here and here. So the first thing I have to do is decide, okay, I have 2 identical cubes that measure 128 cubic centimeters. So 2 identical cubes. That means that to figure out the volume of each, I will divide by 2. So 12 is where I'm going to chunk this. 2 times 6 equals 12. Bring down my 8. 2 times 4 equals 8. So the volume of each is 64 cubic centimeters. Now it says, what is the side length of each? So we have to figure out what 3 numbers we can multiply together to get 64 cubic centimeters. So these will each have a label of centimeters on them. Now what times what equals 64? 8 times 8 equals 64. Is there a way we could use the same number 3 times and it would be 64? So talk with your table group about that. Okay, what'd you come up with? Let's see if this works. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 64. So the answer is the side length of each cube is 4 centimeters. Let's take a look at number 4 and then we'll do the exit ticket. So it says a rectangular tank with a base area of 24 centimeters cubed is filled with water and oil to a depth of 9 centimeters. The oil and water separate into 2 layers when the oil rises to the top. If the thickness of the oil layer is 4 centimeters, what is the volume of the water? Okay, so the base area. So the bottom of this, which we could call the top the same thing as the base, okay? So the base area is 24 centimeters squared. So that's length times width. The water and oil, when filled to the top, make up 9 centimeters. So what is the volume of the water? So the water is on the bottom because it says the oil rises to the top. So the water is right here. What's the area of the water? I can't use 9 because the oil is 4 inches. So how will I figure out the height of this? 9 minus 4 equals 5. So we've got 5 centimeters for the height. And then the area is 24 centimeters squared. So I don't know if you remember lesson 4 or not, but 24 centimeters squared, remember that's length times width. You can take that times the height and you should be able to get volume. So 24 times 5. Write that down. So the volume is 120 cubic centimeters. That's the volume of the water. Okay, let's take a look at the exit ticket. So this looks interesting. Okay, these are planters. It says find the total volume of soil in the 3 planters. Planter A is 14 inches by 3 inches by 4 inches. Planter B is 9 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches. We don't know C, but we can figure it out for sure. So let's start by labeling these, and then we'll do the volume of A, volume of B, volume of C. Okay, so A is 14 by 3 . 4 inches must be right here. Okay, and then planter B is 9 inches, so this is 9 by 3 by 3. So 3 inches here and 3 inches is the depth. Okay? And by, maybe I'll write it here. Put it on the inside. This is 3 inches from here to here. Okay? All right, so we have to figure out C, which we can do that because we know this part right here is 3 inches. And we know it's 3 inches across. So how can we figure out how tall it is? Right here. That's all we need to know. So what's the height so far of the whole structure? 13. Okay, and I'm going to subtract 4 inches for A and 3 inches for B. So 13 minus 7 equals 6. So this right here is 6 inches. Okay, so you have all those dimensions. You're going to do length times width times height, length times width times height, length times width times height. And after you finish those, remember you have to add the volume of A plus the volume of B plus the volume of C, and that will equal the total volume of the entire set of planters.